So far in the classified line, we got large weapons that came with the figures, motorcycles that we've never seen in the vintage era, motorcycles that we saw in the vintage era, several small vehicles, and with HasLab we've gotten the Hiss, which in my opinion was too much money and I wasn't interested in all the lights and sounds, so I didn't go for that. And they also released the Dragonfly. Now, I would have bought into the Dragonfly, but that vehicle is really large, and I really didn't want to utilize that much space in my toy collection to display this. Besides, I'm not really a HasLab person anyways. I don't buy into the HasLab, and I probably never will. But in my opinion, the Cobra Stinger is the perfect size and perfect price point that Hasbro can give for someone like myself that collects classifieds. So let's take a look at the classifieds Cobra Night Attack 4-wheel drive Stinger and Driver. Now I had this vehicle as a child and I loved my Vamp and my Stinger. I had both of those vehicles. They were a staple in my play. Not only is it a vehicle, but it comes with this figure. The artwork is fantastic. You can see another Stinger in the background coming up. You can see it's got some blast effects here. We have a ferret in the background. If you turn around, we can see the artwork of the figure, and the number on this toy is 120. And on the back, you can see the contents of what is in the box. And we've got lots of blast effects there. We've got lots of accessories that come with the driver, and you can see some details on the dashboard of the vehicle and on the hood. So let's get this thing open. I'm excited to see how this thing looks, and we'll compare it to the vintage Stinger. So this is what it looks like when you pull it out of the box. And obviously there is some adult assembly required. Here's the front of the instruction booklet. Apparently the driver has a removable helmet. They tell you how to put that on. And here is the assembly instructions. We have to put the wheels on and the bumper, the top, probably the doors. Doesn't show the doors. Maybe the doors are already on it. Yeah, you can see that the doors are already on it. The missile launcher, the missiles. So this is pre-assembled somewhat, and it looks like we don't even have to put stickers on it. So let's see what's in the box here. All the blast effects, and we've got a back platform that fits on the back with 2 foot pegs. So here's the driver here, and in the plastic clamshell that came with it, we got this knife, and he's got a sheath right here for the knife. We'll put that right in there. Fits really nice, and he's got some nice detail on him. Some red with the gray and the black straps, boots. You can see that for yourself what he has. Now his helmet is not in here, so it's probably in the box still. So we'll continue emptying this box, and we'll take a closer look at him. So here is some accessories for the figure. Obviously, you can see the helmet and all the guns. All right, let's start putting this Jeep together. I think I'm going to start with the wheels first. This seems like they tab in right there, right into the axle here. And it seems like the axles have a spring in there simulating shocks. So that is pretty cool. You can see on the bottom there is some markings, Hasbro, Amsterdam. Interesting. You can also see lots of detail on the bottom. You can see the engines and the transmission, the mufflers. That is pretty cool that they did that. Let's get the rest of these tires on. They all seem exactly the same. There's the same thickness, the same tread, so there's no way of screwing that up, I don't think. And the wheels are kind of floppy. That's kind of interesting. Maybe I guess it's to simulate turning, but the back is like that too. Now the front also has shocks, and they tend to bottom out a little bit, but still kind of cool. Let's see how that works with all four wheels. That works really well. Now the doors were already on, but they flip up like that. And you can see on the inside there is some red detail there, some red paint apps. So that's kind of cool. The mirrors do have some kind of reflective finish on it. I'm not sure if it's a paint. I think it's some kind of sticker, but it's really reflective like a real mirror. You can really see the reflection in it. We have the missile turret here where you can put 4 missiles. I think I'm going to put that on first. Just tabs in here. You've got a hole right here, and then there's also a post there. Now there's nothing that clips in. I didn't hear any clip. And you can turn it 360 degrees. It tends to fall off because there's not really anything that really holds that in. It just friction fits. So it comes off really easily. Now the missiles tab in, you can see that there's a larger space here and a smaller one here, so you have to make sure you put it on the larger one and the smaller one. And there's also a little notch here which you can see goes into that slot there on the missile. So there's only one way to put it. They do fit on there quite firmly. And there is also some paint apps here. The original missiles had stickers with that on it, but these are painted on. And there you go. The missiles are on. You can position them wherever you want. And there is blast effects for the missiles. They were also released with the scrap iron figure. I have the blast effects here. They're just not painted here, but they are the same blast effects, although the missiles are different. And you can see that, how that looks here. Now this is nice and firm, so it will stay up even though those blast effects are very heavy. Seems like they probably in the manufacturing got a little bent, but that's fine. And I believe the rest of these blast effects are the same as what scrap iron came with too. I don't have my scrap iron with me, I just have the missile launcher, but I believe from memory these are very similar, if not the same. Now, we looked at this earlier. This is the platform that goes on the back. I believe it just clips into here over top of the trailer hitch. There we go. Now there's some really nice detail already applied when you get this. You can see that the steering wheel is in there. We also have a stick shift. It does move down and up. The steering wheel does turn, and the windshield is tinted quite a bit too. I'm not sure if I like that, because then you can't really see the figures inside. I think that's a weird thing. Nobody ever tints the front windows of a vehicle. It's really hard to drive with that, especially at night, so I'm not sure why they went with that. It says here, beware of hot surface. To access turbo system, undo bolts, then remove cover plate. Please refer to owner's manual for maintenance of product. Let's put that right here. There's 4 tabs that in. If I can line them up here. Now, does the hood come up? I had to use a knife to separate that hood, but it indeed does open up, and you can see the details of the motor there. We also have a winch, and then if you want to wind it back up, you just use that wheel there. We have the ram bar here, and then on the front we have a chain. We also have some towing rings here that you can use for towing him out of any situation that he might be in. We also have a spot here for the shovel, which is really cool. Just fits in here like that. I believe on the original Vamp it looked like that. Here is the top. Silver details are on the front. Just clip that in there. And that comes off probably to get the figures in there, because I think it might be a little difficult getting them in there through the door, although I don't think it's impossible. It's probably just easier. I had to refer to the instructions, but I was pretty sure this fit on here, and it does. You just clip it on the ram bar, and we've got those spikes. That's pretty cool. It looks like you can, but it doesn't seem to move, so the mirrors don't really come off, and they don't articulate. It says to unlatch, pull back on the latch to unhook and release. We've got some steps here to get into the Jeep. Got some on the other side. We have a Cobra symbol here. We also have the logo for the Stinger here. It looks like a spider. Here it says beware. Please ensure mechanics are not underneath vehicle before starting vehicle. That's funny. And that's it. That is the Stinger. Let's get some blast effects, some bomb effects here. Make it look like it's being ambushed. Let's take a look at the driver. Now, the driver comes with all of these things here, but I think the fire extinguisher probably goes into the vehicle somewhere. So here's the figure and all the accessories. Now we have a machine gun here, a larger gun, and this has a clip that you can put in here. Looks really nice. We've got some red detail on the handle there. And our smaller gun here. And I believe we've seen all of these weapons before. We've got a side clip that goes into that. I like that a lot. We also have a red holster here with the Cobra symbol and a smaller handgun here. Let's take some time and put all his accessories on. There is a holster here too for something else. Not sure what that's for. I don't see anything else. I remember seeing this belt on, I think, a Viper or something like that, and there was, I don't know if it was a flashlight or, I can't remember now what it was. There was something that went in that belt, so they just reused a belt, and we have nothing to put in that. Now, I was looking at the Stinger, and I did notice quite a few really interesting things about it, and I'm going to go through those details with you. First, I found a place to put this fire extinguisher. If we just take this off, maybe that's a reason why they didn't have a clip for that, so you could remove this, and the fire extinguisher goes right in that little clip on the back window, and it fits in there really nice. Then we just reattach the turret. A couple of other things too I noticed is that the back brake reflectors, they're red, but there is a clear plastic in front of that, so it makes it look 3D instead of just a painted red slot here, so that is neat. Also, we have some warning signs here, hot panels here and here. There are slots in the side doors. When you close this door, you can see that there is a figure in there because of those slots. Another detail on the turret is I noticed that perhaps why that is so secure here is because there is a metal pin in there. If that was a plastic post, that could break with a lot of play. So also, if we look on the front, these rings do move up and down. They're a separate piece. They're not just molded in there. The front lights and yellow reflectors have that same plastic clear window on them. Let's take a close look at that. They look really, really nice. And I think one of my favorite details on this vamp is the fact that the window unclips and can be lowered so that when you want to look inside and see the figures, I would have liked if that wasn't tinted a lot better. Maybe if it was like smoky, but not tinted like that. So next I want to see how easy it is to put my figure in there. I am going to take off his holster in the back and take the gun out of his hand. I'm going to leave the rest of the guns and the knife in his sheath there, and I'm going to leave his helmet on. I don't think that will obstruct the figure too much, but I'm going to pull the top off first and try that. Now I can see why this doesn't clip in. I think they thought about that and thought if we could get it, if you can take it off really easily like that, it's better for the vehicle. Now I like the fact that I can just do that. I don't have to completely unclip it. Let me know in the comments if this driver is the same mold as another figure, like one of the troopers or the officer. I think he is. He's just the gray color. That's the way it was with the 3 3/4 figures too. He went in there really easily and I like that. Let's see if we can get the Python Patrol Crimson Guard in here through the door. And not really. He doesn't really fit in there very well. I can't really get him low enough to get him underneath the roll bar here, so we'll have to pull this off and put him in the same way I did the driver. Yeah, he fits in there so much better. So we'll put the officer in there with the driver. And this is how I plan on displaying this vehicle with all my Python Patrol figures here. And I think that this is going to make an amazing display in one of my Detolf cases. I think I should be able to fit all this in one of those cases on one shelf. We'll see. Now, I do know that the Vamp came first, and I actually didn't see that in Canada at all in the stores. If anybody can tell me in the comments, was that a Hasbro exclusive or something like that, or a Target exclusive? Something weird? Or did it come out and I just missed it? I'm curious to know if anybody knows that in the comments. If we take a look at the vintage one here, it just doesn't compare. It's kind of similar with the doors and the top comes off, but really the detail is just not quite there. I really think they knocked the ball out of the park on this classified Stinger, really. If we take a look at it, the vintage one, you can see all the same kind of ideas and detail. And of course, this scale is so much smaller that all of the writing is illegible. They're just, you see two unlatched, but it's just lines. There's no any detailed description of what that says. But also what I'll notice is there is a grab bar here where the classified didn't have the grab bar. And I think the reason why they didn't have that grab bar on the classified version is because the figures stand much higher on this Jeep than they do on the original one here. And the grab bar is high enough that the figures on this one can hold, where I think we would have to have the turret here much higher with the missiles right in the face of the figure. I really don't think that the figure stand on here is a good place to put that. I did manage to put a figure on the side here, right here on the steps, and he holds there really well. I tried to put one on the other side, but the rest of these figures have thicker boots than this officer figure, so this guy was the only one that I could fit right underneath those steps. And I'm not sure if that was intended or not, but I think it was a great detail that they added to that and allows you to do that. Really, the 6-inch scale Jeep is by far superior. Now don't worry, I got some new repairs coming up. I know I've got all these classified videos I've been doing, but I'm just really excited about this, and I really wanted to show what I thought about all this new stuff coming out. And I think this by far is one of the best things I've seen in the line for the price point and for the quality that we get. So thanks for watching this episode of Toys Back Zen. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Share this video if you enjoyed what you see here, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of these toys. Did I miss anything or did I get it right? Let me know in the comments. I read them all. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.